of abolishing Christmas because it's a stupid pile of shit. And I fucking hate it. Bleh. Oh, it's a bit early in the morning to be drinking whiskey. But I've been up for about 10 hours, so it's later in the day for me. Ba-na-bam. Hey! It's Christmas time. Look, let's look at some Christmas-themed comics about killing Santa. Yeah! Fuck you, Santa, you cunt. You big fucking bearded, red coat wearing, present delivering, animal fucking slavery cunt. Fuck you. Ho ho holy shit. Ba-doom, yeah. Ooh, bye-bye Donna, bye-bye Blitzen. And Pepper and Vixen. And all the other cunts. Dread to control, aircraft coming down, vicinity, Kringle Plaza. Hey, Kringle, that's his name, innit? Christopher Kringle. Scream. Looks like the pilot survived. Trail of blood. The thing is, with Dread, because he's an English creation, he's made in England, but I believe the world he inhabits is better described in American terms. I believe he might be considered American. Megacity 1 among the megacities, maybe in what is canonically America. So I think technically Dread would talk like this. Dread to control. Aircraft coming down. Vicinity, Kringle Plaza. Plaza. Whatever. Vicinity, Kringle Plaza. But because of my British persuasion, etc., I always imagine he talks like a bloody English bobby. Dread to control. Aircraft coming down. Vicinity in Kringle Plaza. Looks like the pilot survived. Trail of blood here. Oh, let me follow it and see what turns up. Oh, those poor little kiddies waiting, depending on me. There he is. You, hold it. Jock, Creep's got a gun. Oh, he pulled a fucking Tommy gun out of his sack of presents. I've pulled a few things out of my sack. Not really, that'd be weird. You were warned, Fats. That's cool. I like that. It's got my spit all over it and everything. Look at the cat and dog watching from out the window. Where are they? They were somewhere. Yeah, cat and dog in the window. And they're watching Santa get blown to smithereens. Fuck you, you fucking cunt. You again, huh? Thought you were warned off last year. I had to try. Even the judges can't stop Christmas. Control. It was the fat geek on the flying sleigh again. Oh, don't bother him. Oh, don't think he'll be bothering us anymore. Meat wagon to Kringle. Oh, Betty. That's what he should talk like. He should talk like Frank Spencer. Oh, Dread to control. Oh, aircraft coming down in vicinity of Kringle Plaza. You were warned, Fats. That's not a very good impression. Dread rides off. Hey, let's look at some more Simon Bisley Christmas-themed comic books where Santa gets fucked up again. Yeah, we're anti-Christmas this time. I'll get to that. Don't hold your horses. Gather your horses into one place. Hold on to them, and don't put the cart before them. Look at that. We've taken all these metaphors. You can lead your horses to water. You can't make them drink though. You can always teach an old horse new tricks. A horse in the hand is worth two in the bush. A rolling horse gathers no moss. It's like killing two horses with one horse. If I ever horse a horse, then don't tell me how to horse my horse. Every horse has a silver horse. I've run out of idioms. Let's Google fun idioms that we can insert the word horse into. Oh, it is almost the word idiots. I like the word idioms primarily because it's like the word idiot. What are the 100 idioms? There are what? Oh, break a horse. Break a leg. Apparently that's an idiom. English idioms, proverbs and expressions are an important part of everyday English. They come up all the time in both written and spoken English. Yeah, but give me a horse a dozen. Oh, don't beat around the horse. Better horse than never. Give someone the benefit of the horse. Get back to the drawing horse. Back to the horsing board. Back to the horsing horse. Not even had a full shot of whiskey. But I've had plenty of caffeine pills. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, look, the elves have got little cork guns. Lobo's going to have some fun with them, I'll bet. Oh, there you go. Fuck you, Christmas elves, you little fucking growth-stunted little pointy-eared cunts. Fuck the lot of yous. That's a cool one. I like that. I could steal that for gun Viking, couldn't I? I probably have inadvertently stolen that pose for gun Viking at some point. That's usually my modus operandi. Because I speak Latin because I'm brilliant. That's a good one. I like that. I like shooting poses from behind. You get the guns outstretched and the guns. No, I don't have muscles. That was embarrassing. I shouldn't have done that. I like the shells, like the elongation of the shells going. Oh, a pile of dead elves. That's cool. Whoa, there he is. Santa baby. Go and hang yourself from a tree for me. 'Cause you're fucking useless, Santa baby. You're a sign of tradition and that's a bad thing. And now you're a symbol of advertising. Primarily for Coca-Cola. Oh, I can't wait to see the Coca-Cola adverts for Christmas this year. Whoa, look at that. Dark and brooding. Shivs, huh? Suits me. Look at that. Santa is going to fight him, but he's going to fight with blades. Put your guns down. Let's go blade to blade. I wonder if this is intentional, if that was a misprint or something with the colour being cut off there. If it's intentional, it's a bit weird to have just this white and then the colour. And if it's a misprint, it's a bit of a weird misprint. Maybe they're like, I think they have colour separations they cut, and maybe they just got like slid down or cut off. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Gee, I just shut up. This is cool. It's a very short fight scene. Barely 2 pages. Get here, they start here, and then you get this full page of panels. I like that. It's like bigger and then smaller panels. You got all the creatures watching. He nuts him. Oh, he's got an eye hanging out. When did that? Oh, he punched him there. Boosh! Punched his eye out. Die, you naughty bastard! You wish, sucker. Look, maybe we can make a deal. Sounds cool. But the bunny's already paid for you. Hack. Beheads the fucker. Split. That's cool. That's what we were discussing in I think the most recent podcast episode with the corpse lying on the ground in whatever it was we were looking at. Some comic or something. That's a good one as well. Corpse lying on the ground with I like the black. I don't know if it was spray paint or just like flicked paint for the splurge of blood, and then these like fountainous splips and splurts coming out of his gaping neck wound. Those are fun, aren't they? That's cool. I like the pose of that gorilla there. Oh, Santa's got a gorilla pal who hangs around. Of course, why wouldn't he? And then he get all the bombs, and then he puts them all in the sack, and he takes them all into the sky in the sleigh, and he drops them all. Boom! You see in the background of the mushroom clouds. H bombs. That's bad, isn't it? It's going to be the best Xmas ever. And then there's like the subplot of these parents off to kill their kids. Blam, blam, blam. Merry Christmas, compadres. Ho ho, fragging ho. Yeah, eat my fuck. You bitch. Yeah, suck a shit. You fucking dicks. So, I was looking through that for a little bit of inspiration. Now, let's do this. Let's do this unnecessary... I forget the name of the game. I've done it before, recently. Game show waiting music. That's what I typed in before, wasn't it? Jeopardy! That's the... There we go. Right. Now I'll give you a few seconds to guess what I'm taking inspiration from for the comics. I'm going to do a little bit of drawing, little drawy draw. And guess. Yeah, whatever. Fucking shut up. Where is it? Can you tell what it is? It's a gorilla. I'm taking inspiration from the gorilla from that comic. Not from the Santa Claus. We're not drawing Santa Claus. That would be too obvious. Because this is for the non-Christmassy Christmas. That's why I'm making this video, putting it out Christmas Day. Specifically, because if you're like me, you're not really into Christmas. It's not really a thing. Personally, I don't celebrate Christmas as an individual. It's not something. I don't have decorations. I give gifts to like 3 people. My mum, her husband, just because he's around, and my mum because she expects it. And if I said no presents this year, she'd be upset maybe. And then her husband just because he's there, and if I don't get him anything, it appears rude. And then Sam. Sam gets a present because he's Sam. Everyone else can fuck themselves. They can eat my entire penis from the base upwards, however that would work. I don't celebrate. I don't have a tree. I don't decorate. I don't care. It's not a part of me. As I've grown up, I've realised, you grow up and you develop your own fucking shit. And you think to yourself, well, left to my own devices, do I feel a need to celebrate Christmas as a thing? And my answer to that is no. No, I bloody don't. Because then you think, well, why do I celebrate Christmas? Just because it's what you do. So I'm going to get this out of the way. Oh no, I think my thing's... it seems to be working. I smell. Fuck yeah, I do. I fucking stink. I stink like a ball bag. Yeah, you take some time and you think, why do or would I celebrate Christmas? And then maybe you realise, I don't. There's no need. The religious side of it has no meaning for me. The tradition side of it has even less meaning for me. Because I'm going to have my little rant here, just because it's just my little thing. I just get into it a little bit now and again. just so you're aware, if you weren't aware previously. I feel that traditions like Christmas, Easter, these sorts of things are, this may sound silly, but I believe they're a detriment to the human possibility for progression, the progression of the human race. It holds us back. And a lot of evil, like genuinely evil, bad things happen because of tradition. Because, it's just the way we do. The patriarchy is all about tradition. Conservatism is all about tradition. All of that, like, there's a lot of bad shit that happens because of tradition. Because, it's just the way we do things. And then if you try to, like, abolish, for instance, slavery, they go, no, that's just the way we do things. Let's have a war about it. It's fucking silliness is what it is. And I feel, in my personal little feely feels, that Christmas is one of those. Like, if you choose to celebrate Christmas, fine, sure, whatever. But I don't feel that you should be expected or obliged to partake in Christmas just because it's just what you do. And for me personally, I have decided Christmas is not just what I do at all. It's not a part of my it's not a part of my beliefs, because I don't believe in anything, because I'm dead inside, which, I kind of am, but also I'm horrifically depressed, and I have a great amount of trouble finding interest in anything whatsoever, even the things I enjoy. I have a great deal of difficulty finding interest in those things. So when it comes to things like Christmas and Easter, isn't that just a bit of fun? To me, no, it's not fun at all. Also, so that's my little rant. Out of the way, it's done, it's whatever. I won't go on about it too much. Also, one of my earliest memories in life of anything at all, as a tiny little youngster, maybe barely 2 years old, maybe even younger, possibly, is of a Christmas Day, or a lead up to Christmas Day. This is when my dad still lived at home, not for much longer, because this is obviously where that relationship was headed. I recall so vividly my mum and dad arguing, and like a shouting argument over if the Christmas tree, which was a real Christmas tree, should be put in a pot of dirt or sand. I can't remember who was on which side, but I know one of my parents was on the side of it should go in a pot of sand, and one of them was on the side of it should go in a pot of dirt. And I was, like I say, maybe 2 years old. I don't know how old you are when you start, like, being aware of your surroundings and starting to create memories. Google will know at what age does a child start creating memories? Kids, that's a very scientific way of putting it. Kids begin forming explicit childhood memories around the 2-year mark. Okay, so yeah, but the majority are still implicit memories until they're about 7. Fuck you, I remember everything. I remember carrying a toy Millennium Falcon because we got gifted a shitload of Star Wars toys. We fed Yoda to the Rancor and he got stuck inside. That's an actual thing that happened. We had a big plastic Rancor, and it was honestly like a massive box from my dad's second wife's kids who had grown up and they didn't want their toys anymore. They had a shitload of like the classic Star Wars toys. With that, the some of them had lightsabers. They had the lightsaber in their arm, and then with a little like lever, so you pull the lever and the lightsaber comes out through their hand. Quite cool. But yeah, included among that set was a big plastic Rancor, as well as a little Yoda. And we realised, Yoda fits in the mouth of the Rancor because its mouth like opened and closed. And we fed Yoda to the Rancor, and then forever he was just rattling around inside the Rancor, and we could never get him out again. That's quite funny. We also had a big Millennium Falcon, And I have a distinct memory of me carrying it down the stairs as like maybe a 3 or 4 year old or something in front of me. But because I was doing that, it was almost as big as me, and I couldn't see anything in front of me, so I couldn't see the stairs, and I just fucking just went arse over tit down the stairs carrying this Millennium Falcon, not aware of what had happened until I was at the bottom of the stairs, realising, oh, I have fallen down the stairs. You know, that's how that goes. Good times. So I have a distinct memory, I guess, from the age of probably around 2ish, of, yeah, my parents just yelling, arguing with each other. No, it should go in dirt, in earth. I think it was my dad saying earth. So I guess that he was probably on that side. Saying, he should dig up some earth from the garden and put the Christmas tree in that, because that'll keep it alive longer. And then I guess then it was my mum saying, no, it should go in sand because there's no need to dig up the garden. Just get some sand from, I don't know, I guess there was sand available somewhere, and just put it in that, and then we can chuck it out and it's fine. It doesn't. And they were fucking yelling at each other about this. And I was terrified. I was a tiny little child. And yeah, just terrified of hearing all this. And for me, that's a sign of like, this is what I'm in for, for my life. And that probably coloured a lot of my opinions about things like marriage, about relationships in general, about Christmas. Like, oh, what's marriage? A husband and wife, potentially a mother and father. Back in the day, I was going to church. I believed it was only lady and man get married. Which leads to, no, we should get dirt from the garden because then it will keep the tree alive longer. No, we should get sand because there's no need to dig up the garden, Bill. So that was my my idea of marriage and Christmas, because it was Christmas time and it was the Christmas tree that was like the thing. And obviously, looking back, the point wasn't Christmas or the tree. The point was my mum and dad fucking despised each other and were sick to fucking death of being around one another, clearly. And they just argued about shit until eventually my dad just... Well, he didn't just split, they separated or fucking whatever, I guess. Which is all good fun, isn't it? Oh, families, eh? Oh, you gotta love them. Gotta love these fucking families. Oh, it's all fun. So fucking fun. I love families. They're great. So maybe there is a chance that my ideas on Christmas were shaped by that. Yeah, it's quite funny that like something that happened when I was 2 can still affect me to this day, which it does and doesn't. It doesn't necessarily affect me, but I think it had affected me, and therefore it's just a part of my being, my essence, and who I am. Oh no, everything's going wrong. This thing's held together with duct tape. I think it is on its way out, which is a real shame, because it's been one of the most useful things I own, and it might be dying live in a video. I think it's just the USB connection's loose. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. I think I might be able to hot glue it. I'll have to take it apart and hot glue it. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. But this is a little comic I came up with the idea for it quite some time ago. Which I didn't really come up with the idea for it. The idea just popped into my head probably when I was asleep one night. And I thought, oh, that would be fucking hilarious. I got to make that into a comic. That'll be fucking funny. And so that's what I'm doing now. I think it'll probably take me longer to draw than I really would kind of hope. So I might have to, like, I wanted to run you through it after I'd drawn a bunch of it so I could show you and be like, right, this is the thing. But I think I might have to just show you earlier than that because it's going to take me quite a while to... I probably won't draw the whole thing in this single video. Let's say that much at least. But it's a gorilla driving a taxi. It's not Christmas related at all, and again, that's the point. If you are even remotely like me and you're not into Christmas, then this one is specifically for you. This video is for anyone, of course. It just happens to be released on Christmas, but this is primarily aimed at the non-Christmassy folk. And I'm sure there are a bunch, and for their own various reasons. Maybe you're Jewish. Are you Jewish? I hope you're not a Zionist. If you are, ooh, let's not get into that, shall we? Hey, today we're going to talk about Zionism. Oh, Israel, Palestine. Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? Oh, I don't know. Do you? Let's talk about it. We're not actually gonna. Don't worry, I'm not. You know, not gonna. I'm not gonna do that shit. His little ear. I guess I can put that in there. Do 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 do. This was a funny one actually because I had the idea for it, and so I put it down on my mobile telephone in the notes section, and I wrote down in all caps "gorilla taxi driver," and that was it. That was the note. Oh, excuse me, that I'd put in my notes. And then sometime later, I sort of put it out of my mind or forgot about it. And then sometime later, I was looking through my notes. I think I was with Sam at the time, and I was just like, I have no idea what the fuck that is supposed to be. Gorilla taxi driver. What the fuck is that? But then it came back to me, the actual plan and idea for what that was for. And it's quite the hilarious one, let me tell you that. Shall I at least... I want to get at least the first screaming gorilla panel drawn, even if it's just the rough version. Because this gorilla taxi driver, oh boy, gets pretty angry. I can tell you that. As you might expect, you know, if you've got a gorilla driving a taxi, what do you expect to bloody happen? Oh, I've got a papoose. I'm a gorilla taxi driver. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Let's shut up, you light fucking thing. Get back to that in a second. I'll run you through the plan, right? So I guess it's 5 panels. We have panel 1, 2, 3, 4 und 5. That's German. Did you know I know German? I speak it fluently. Ja, ich bin ein großen Berliner. Du bist ein Pimmel. Einen großen Dickpimmel. That means you're a big fat penis. I think that's what that means. German Pimmel. Pimmel means willy. W-I-L-L-I-E. And gross is big and dick is fat. So you could say you are einen großen dicken Pimmel. Means you're a big fat willy. So it's gorilla taxi driver. Premise is it's in the back of a cab. the chairs here, the rear view mirror, and clearly this is a fucking gorilla, and you can see its eyes giving you like the one small eye, one big eye, as discussed previously. And then he turns around, and then it will say Gorilla Taxi. It will say Gorilla Taxi Driver, normal, and then it will say Gorilla Taxi Driver a bit bigger and a bit more aggressively as he turns around to look at you. And then he's like pushing the seats out of the way and coming toward you, the viewer. Fucking USB cocksuckers. And then it'll say Gorilla Taxi Driver, and then he's like smashing. There's going to be a bit of blood splat here where he's just like yelling, and his arms are down, and then he's like pounding, and his blood splats and stuff, and it'll be Gorilla Taxi Driver, and that's it. So it's Gorilla Taxi Driver, Gorilla Taxi Driver, Gorilla Taxi Driver, Gorilla Taxi Driver. And I think this is one I think would work really well as an animation if I had the wherewithal to actually fucking do that, which I don't think I'd do. But if I did, oh boy, that'd be neat, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be funny if a woman had a wouldn't it be funny if a woman had a wouldn't it be funny if a woman had a wouldn't it? Do you remember that from school? That was funny for a minute. But yeah, as an animation where like you could see from, you know, your point of view if you're getting into the cab, and I think in my head the soundtrack would be like in Birdman, that film starring Michael Keaton and Edward Norton. He's a great supporting actor in that. Where the whole soundtrack is like live drums, kind of like live loose mellow jazz drums, and then they pick up as the action picks up, and then they mellow out a bit. So yeah, it's like, you know, you hear sort of traffic noises, like mellow little like. And then you hear like the opening and closing of a car door, and maybe as you get into the cab from your point of view, the drums start. And then you have a voice that goes, Gorilla Taxi Driver, Gorilla Taxi Driver, as he turns around. And then as he turns around, the drums pick up a bit. Gorilla Taxi Driver, Gorilla Taxi Driver, as his like eye twitches, and he like turns around and then pushes the chairs aside and screams at, and no sound of the gorilla or his actions, but just you see it happening. And then he like goes down into the back seat and starts going bah, 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 and like you see his face come up and scream, and there's like blood splats on it, and it goes Gorilla Taxi Driver, 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 as he's just fucking wailing on you, the viewer, the passenger that's gotten into the cab, blood covering the screen, and then really, really fucking aggressive. Gorilla Taxi Driver, Gorilla Taxi Driver, Gorilla Taxi Driver. And then it's just like red over the screen, and then the like text fades up. Gorilla Taxi Driver. This has been Gorilla Taxi Driver. And then the drums sort of fade out and then fades into traffic noises again. Fades out, fade to black, and that's the animation. It'll only need to be like barely 10 seconds long. I probably made it sound like it's like 30, 40 seconds, but that would be a pretty funny animation. And I think I could make it happen, but I don't know if I've got the kaputs. I don't know. I don't think I've got it in me to like to do that shit. Not in my current state. I don't know. It would take a lot of work. It would be like days and days, maybe even a full week's work to really animate that in a way that is like good. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying, you know, the chances of it happening are not large, not great, not humongous. I've Google imaged angry gorilla, so I can sort of get an idea of shouty angry gorilla faces. Whilst keeping it cartoony, I was tempted to literally just lift the gorilla from this lovely Bisley comic, because that's a great gorilla. I love the fur. It's just like ink. Good gorilla hands and feet as well. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'll do a bit of both. I'll use Google Images and steal from Simon Bisley. A bit of both. I like it when apes scream and their like top lip rolls back and it shows like loads of gum and teeth. Gorilla taxi driver, gorilla taxi driver, and that's another thing as well is where do I put his hand so it doesn't look shit? Put the chair here, put his hand there. Yeah, doing the animation would be one thing, but then there's the music. Like I don't have a drum kit or any sort of like electronic drum machine. Maybe there's one online, like an online drum machine. But you need, for something like that, it has to be like live, real live drums to make it even remotely good, really, doesn't it? So that would be a thing I'd have to like hire out. I'd find someone who can play the drums and can make that happen. Which would be cool. It's not something I've done before. It's something I'd love to be able to do. But there's, you know, being able to afford that and then finding someone who can do it and all the rest of it. It would take a lot to be able to make that happen. In my initial drawings, the gorilla was naked, but then I realised I wanted him in like a Hawaiian shirt or something, like flowers on it. These are flowers, by the way. And so I'm not sure how well that translates. This is his hand, making a fist and his arm going up here. Gorilla taxi driver. Maybe needs some work, but I think the premise is there, if nothing else. Let's do a little. This is rough. This is not going to be remotely the final thing, but you know, like I say, the idea is there, and it's. I think the final thing I'm going to do it painted, similarly to this. Oh shit! There's more. Hang on, I'll be right back. You know exactly what I'm getting. If you have an ounce of sense, this is the one. Right, one of these Bisley covers has a gorilla with like a massive machine gun. If I've done this and then someone goes, "Oh, Ewan, had you not seen this thing by this other artist, and someone's already done almost the exact same Gorilla Taxi Driver comic as I've done. I won't be mad, I'll just be a little bit miffed, because that'd be kind of annoying. Oh no, I think that's the machine gun I was thinking of. Maybe the gorilla's got a pram, like a baby in a pram. Yeah, oh, he does have a big gun. Yeah, so this is almost exactly how I'm picturing if I paint this. So I, trace it onto good, solid, thick paper. I am getting to that, by the way. A lot of people ask what paper I use, weirdly. Well, not weirdly, I guess it makes sense. This is just cheap printer paper, just for rough stuff. I keep like a block of it next to my desk, so I can just whip it out, do my rough shit on it, and then trace that onto better paper. And I'm thinking I will do a what pen do you use video, where I show what pens I use, what paper I use, what paints I use. And then whenever someone asks me, I'll go, just what the fucking video, you prick. But yeah, so just like black ink and, scribbly bits for the fur. And then like painted similarly to this for the face and hands and such. And then red splats for the blood splats. And I just realised, I think, something else. Can't recall if there is gorillas in this specifically, but there certainly are animals and Hawaiian shirts. There's a monkey, and there is a guy in a Hawaiian shirt. Maybe that's where I'm sort of like, I think in my head I'm combining these two without really thinking about it. So this guy who wears Hawaiian shirts, and this is a chimpanzee. I mean, if I had it in me, I'm sure I could paint my Gorilla Taxi Driver with this kind of detail, but I don't know if I'd be feeling that. Not for, a 5-panel comic. Although maybe that's exactly when I should put the effort in, when it's only 5 panels. Then you've got time to make them... And some of it, there's almost no detail necessary in there. Blocking the shapes, a bit of detail in here in the mirror. Some detail here and in the shirt, and then here is where I really like go to town, take time to paint this panel specifically, because then the other one, his face is only sort of partially in it, and then there's blood and stuff, and then in the last one it's mostly blood. So I guess I could put the effort in. Imagine that, putting effort into something. Ugh. What a horrible thought. I've still, to this day, no idea what the fuck's going on in this comic at all. I don't know who any of the characters are. I don't know what their connections are, what they're actually doing, their motivations, anything. I just love the artwork. Jim Murray is just... mwah, mwah, mwah. Just fantastic. Love it to bits. These rats, this whole rat scene especially is so good. I love how cartoony his rats are. They almost look like I don't know, like a Feifel Goes West, like an old Disney cartoon kind of rat caricature. That one especially. I love that so much. But then, just his paintings in general are just fucking fantastic. There's a really, really good bit where, this guy's in the water. It's like obviously like thick, dirty, sludgy sewage water or whatever. Dead fish and soda cans and stuff. And the way he paints it with like his shirt, bobbing up where there's air bubbles in it and stuff. And the cigarette butts floating and him getting submerged with his cigarette tip sticking out there. And then the hyena comes along and saves him. That's really fucking cool. But that's no Gorilla Taxi Driver, is it? Like getting pens and paint tubes stuck in my bloody books. Oh, I got my paint tube stuck in my book. Oh. And this is specifically for you if you're watching this on Christmas, just because you know, everyone's around for Christmas and you've got some time to yourself, you've got your phone, your laptop, whatever, and you're just like, oh, Ewan put a video out, let me watch it. Then that's cool. This is, you know, you can watch it and enjoy it, but this isn't made with you in mind specifically. This video is made specifically for the people who it gets to Christmas time, and either through your own choice or otherwise, because sometimes you might not be into Christmas because you got fucked up around Christmas and it's not a good time for you. And I know several people in that sort of position. And I feel for those people. Oh, I'll feel for you all right. This is, yeah. Or if you happen to just be similar to me, you think Christmas is just, you know, it's had its moment. These sorts of traditions, they used to have relevance, but times have changed enough where, personally, I believe the relevance of a Christmas is sort of not there anymore. To have a time when the family gathers round and you sort of treat everyone nicely, supposedly, yeah, that's perfectly fine. But I think the whole thing, obviously it's a sham because of capitalism and whatever else, but you know, whatever your thoughts and feelings about Christmas, if you are not really into it, then this one goes out to you. Here's to you and us. That's my point. Again, I won't rant too much about my dumb thoughts and feelings about Christmas and tradition in general. I think I've gone on and on about that sort of shit enough. Or maybe I haven't. Gorilla taxi driver. You know what would be funny is if I said, oh, I got a new idea for a comic, everyone. A full 150-page epic about a gorilla taxi driver. But, you know, I'm sure I could make happen because I'm just that, you know, good. Sort of that prolific and talented in terms of creating stories and characters and drawing them, creating worlds within worlds and all the rest of it. I'm sure I could make a decent comic out of a gorilla taxi driver. I'd find a way to make it work. But in this case, nah, that's not the point. The point in this case is just a funny little few panel comic I had an idea for because I thought it'd be amusing. And it only bloody is. Oh, it's not just amusing, it's bloody fucking hilarious, isn't it? A gorilla taxi? What's a gorilla doing driving a taxi? How did he get his licence? How did he not just get his driver's licence? Sorry, that should be backwards. That should be the other way around. I did it backwards. Not only how did he get his taxi driver's licence, but how did he get his just driver's licence? How does he pay for insurance on a car? What's he doing? I don't understand. Gorilla taxi driver. Oh no, that line in his eye makes him look sleepy. I accidentally did a line when I was scribbling it through his eye, and it makes him look like he's got a sleepy eye, which is stupid. It's supposed to be quite the opposite. It's supposed to be full of naught but energy, ready to pound on this cocksucker who got into his cab. I think I did have an idea of like expanding this a bit, or at least having the idea for the comic to be more panels and like have the person get into the cab still from their point of view and then be driving for a bit and then be like, huh? Is that a gorilla taxi driver? And then the gorilla turns around and then he goes schizo and kills the guy. But yeah, that's one of those moments where it's like you sort of learn what you need to put in and what you don't need to put in, like what you can just remove entirely. It's called editing, I guess. And you realise, yeah, no, good one, yeah. The comic works just as well, if not better, having less panels and just going. If this is the first panel and it says gorilla taxi driver, you see that first panel, and you know, if I post this to Instagram, for instance, it will be posted a single panel at a time, so then you swipe through it. So you see that one, and you think, oh, that's funny. What's going on here? I see the gorilla's like face in the back, in the rearview mirror a bit, his eyes and nose and fur. And then you swipe, and he's turning, looking at you, and then swipe again, and he's fucking mad, and it says, "Gorilla taxi driver, gorilla taxi driver." And then at the end, I'll post the full, and it'll be all in one long thing. I'll have to paint it on a couple of bits of paper, and then I'll stick them together and maybe sell the original. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's a fun piece of artwork. It would be more fun, I think, if this is what I spent my Christmas day doing. Maybe, obviously, maybe not. I'm recording this a couple of days prior to Christmas, so I can have time to, you know, get it together and upload it and stuff. But it would be cool if I do get into like live streaming, as I would like and plan to at some point, to do, yeah, like Christmas live streams for all the lonely sods who have nothing better to do on Christmas than watch some other lonely sod draw and shit. I don't know. Then yeah, and we could come up with a funny comic together. That would be quite cool, wouldn't it? Maybe someday, maybe some year, maybe next year. Who knows? See how things go. Could happen. Could bloody happen. You don't know. Lightning might strike. I believe that's from Meet Joe Black, which is a bit of a weird reference, isn't it? Good film, I guess. Long, you know. Brad Pitt has sex with a woman in it. Oh. How am I doing his hand and his arm? I think this panel, I want stuff to like come out of the panel, like his head. I want to have his big gorilla head. I love looking at gorillas' heads because they just keep going. Like if you were to draw a head, and you'd be like, okay, angry face, gorilla nose, muzzle, teeth, loud mouth, and you go, right, so his head, but they do have little ears. And then if you actually look at pictures of gorillas, their head goes up again, and then up again. They've got these giant, fucking colossal heads, and then their shoulders are enormous as well. Just a big gorilla head. Gorilla taxi driver. Ba, 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 ba. And then his Hawaiian shirt. I want him to be pushing the seat out of the way, but it'd be like pressed into him slightly because he's not tearing it out of its place. But and then he sort of leapt in front of this seat, and this would all be black fur, as would this be. I quite like that, actually. I was a little bit like, about it, but no, I think that's quite cool. And again, if you imagine that, but like drawn better and painted, I think it would be a neat piece. Maybe I'll put his hands here. Maybe that would work. Like that's sort of the shape he would be if I was drawing him in full. But I do still want to contain him within the panel because I want it to feel like it is contained within a car. I don't want it to be too big and explosive and expansive. So it does need to stay contained to some degree. Yes, yes. And yeah, his shirt in my head is, I guess, very similar to the one at the start of Drowntown, where it's yellow with palm trees. But this, I'm thinking yellow with like flowers like this that are done in like pink and white all over the shirt. And that would be a good contrast to the dark sort of blacks and blues and violent reds of the gorilla and such. I was going to say maybe it's too central, but no, I think it works like that, especially if you go from this panel to this panel. I think he moves enough that it does work. And then I think on the rough sketch, so you can see his eyes, nose and mouth are here, and then his big gorilla head, and he's like putting his arms down here going rah, and there'll be a few blood splats. And then here I think a fist and his face screaming like he's lifted up, and then this arm's down with more blood. But then I think maybe it would be better to continue the movement this way, because he goes from here to here to here, so it might be better to basically flip that and have his head be here and then lift up a bit with a fist here punching. Yeah, it'll take some work, but I think it definitely is already getting there. I'm happy with the idea, and I'm happy that you know, a lot of ideas for every drawing and comic and thing you see that I do, there's still another like 20 ideas I've got notes on that I just never do anything with because I just don't have the fucking time. But this is one that's been there for quite a while. This has been in my notes probably for the best part of the whole year. So I'm glad to be doing something with it. Something that I think will be really, really fun and funny when it's done. And dunny. Dunny is a slang term for a toilet. I think that'll do for now. You get the idea. I'll work on that some more. And, you know, I can only babble so much. But, again, many happy returns as a birthday greeting, isn't it? Happy holidays, whatever. If you are not having the best time over the holiday period, as I know a lot of people don't, for various reasons, then know that I'm thinking of you as much as I can. If I might not know who you are, but like I'm thinking of those people. You know, it's not always easy. Everyone's jolly and happy, and you might have some real serious, deep things that get brought up through the holidays, and I'm with you on that. Just know that. So yeah, I hope you're okay. I hope this gave you at least nearly an hour to chill and just forget about things for a bit. And don't forget, go on a taxi driver to the